Welcome back to DPRK Athletics. My name is Yong. Welcome back to BG Stadium, where today the semifinal of the Under-20 Women's Asian Cup will be taking place. The DPRK will be facing the ROK again for the second time this tournament. The first time the DPRK won 5-0, so I suspect there will be no problems this time. The ROK was barely able to beat hosts Thailand. So I'm excited to see the match. I came here on a taxi. Not many problems. The past couple of days have been Songkran here in Thailand, which is basically the Thai New Year. So people have been busy with that. I wanted to go downtown to see the celebrations, but there was like a crowd crush scare, and it didn't seem like it was worth adding to the problem. So I did go out to a cultural town, and you can see my review of that experience right now. Okay, so I'm out here at Muang Boran, which is basically an ancient village somewhere in the outskirts of Bangkok, and it didn't disappoint. The entry cost was like 25 USD, which is, on the expensive side, and they said, oh, you could do it cheaper online, but you know what? The online menu did not work. So I'm here, and it's pretty beautiful. There's a lot of like gold. There's a lot of like Buddhist imagery. There are people selling some snacks, although a lot of people are selling souvenirs, which are stuff that people don't need. Anyway, I'll probably hang out around here, walk around here for like an hour, and then I'll probably be done with this. Might go out somewhere to eat. This is quite the relaxed holiday. I guess the other knock on this place is that it is super car-centric, and it is kind of unfinished. It reminds me a lot of those like Chinese ghost town theme parks. There's just like a lot of planning, but not a lot of completion, and how much of this is authentic, how much of this isn't. There are some signboards, but they've been generally pretty brusque in their explanations. So yeah, this was kind of walking around in the sun and looking at construction. So I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, it is extremely scorching hot out here in Bangkok. I would say it is about 34 degrees, I think, something like that, 37. It's just really hot. I can barely exist out here, but luckily I think they're going to place all the spectators in the cool under the shade again this time, so big props to them. Anyway, not many fans have shown up. Some gentlemen were greeting me from another zone, but I didn't know who they were. So it's really hard to find water because they reversed the stadium infrastructure. There's no booth selling water now, which is a bummer. So I had to come out to this coffee shop, and they had coffee, but they didn't have water. So I guess I'm drinking coffee. This was called a blue and white coffee. Very creamy. It's insanely creamy. Situation an hour before kickoff. So we're about a half hour away from the start of the match. Both teams are on the field practicing, and there are virtually zero fans here, but I expect that will change. I know that the DPRK delegation will usually show up right before match time, and then I know the opposing ROK side has about 10 fans at least, so there should be some fan participation, but we're still 30 minutes out, and just sitting here, it's a lot cooler in the shade. I think it should be standable for the athletes. Also, today is a holiday, so there will probably not be a lot of Thai people coming here. And I was eventually able to get my water. There was a water stand that opened up an hour before the match, so that was nice. Anyway, we'll see you at halftime. So the first half was about as I expected it would go. It's 2-0. The DPRK are holding a healthy lead over the ROK. Basically, one of the shots was an absolute perfect shot at a corner angle, which kind of directly went into the corner of the net. It was an amazing goal. The other goal was amazing as well. Basically, ROK really tried to slow the game down, really tried to muck up the passes, really tried to make sure that DPRK couldn't even make that first or second pass into the zone, but eventually things broke through and the DPRK were able to get in 2 goals. Yeah. And the people from the embassy came in about 5 minutes before the match or after the match started. The gentleman from the Chongmyeon, he's also still here. And again, it's just a great opportunity to hear all the vocabulary that they're saying. There's just so much that I'm learning just by listening to this. I've exchanged, a look with the coach. The coach gave me a nod. It's really temperate outside. That's nice. Definitely cooled down.
And so really that's just the chill atmosphere. It doesn't really seem like at this point there's a way for the ROK to win. It really seems like the Asian Cup is just a stepping stone for this DPRK team, who is really hoping to win the entire tournament. So really just sitting back, enjoying a nice glorious second half, and then hoping that they will continue this dominance in the championship match. So it's pretty relaxing being a DPRK fan right now.
So that second half went just about as expected. We won 4-0, 4-0. There were a couple more goals. Generally we did a great job of just controlling the ball, controlling the game as we usually do. ROK really never had a solid chance at a goal. Maybe a couple of times they kind of got it deep, but really it was just complete domination from our side. You felt that we had a lot of shots on goal, but none that were super spectacular. You kind of wish that there was a little bit more of that creativity, but on this level, it's really about the fundamentals, since it's under 20. I guess the most interesting thing that happened to me is that someone from the AFC was asking us all to do a chant together, and the man from the DPRK embassy didn't understand her clearly, and so I had to translate for him. I'm like, yo, she wants us all to do a chant, and then he realized, and then we all did a chant together for the AFC online thing. But it was cool. I liked after the match, we got out right next to where the players leave the pitch, and so I just kind of stood by there, and I clapped for them as they went out, and a coach came to shake my hand. Some of the players nodded appreciation to me. So it was a pretty cool afternoon, a pretty cool win. Not a lot of intensity, but just a nice, cool and easy win around some great and interesting people, and just getting to hear more DPRK dialect talk about football. There were some really enthusiastic cheerers from the embassy. I did notice that one of them said "Oh my God" a lot in English. So as you could tell, the Pyongyang 문화, or Pyongyang cultural language, is not necessarily all encompassing. So I got this free bag at the match, and was this for press? Was this for staff? I don't know. It came with a key ring and a clipboard in it, so that's cool. But yeah, this is kind of a short episode on the way to the final. So that's going to be it from me here on Yong K-ship show. 여기는 방콕입니다.